Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Automation Hub. So today we are going to discuss about variables in Java. So guys, previously I created one tutorial regarding data types in Java, and today we are going to discuss about variables in Java, right? So in this tutorial, I will explain you about all the types of variable uh, we have in Java, right? Like a local variable, instance variable, and static variable, and I will also give you the demo how we can create and how we can call the variable, okay, using one program, Java program. Okay, so in this tutorial, let's start for first what is variable, okay, and why we use variable. Okay, so as you can see, variable is a type we declare to hold the data. Like uh, whenever you are declaring any variable inside the Java program, okay, so you are giving the name. Variable is the name, right? And variable type is like type what? Data type we can give, right? Like I am declaring as a see, I am declaring one variable like integer type, int number num equal to 10. So see, this is the variable I am creating, right? See, right now, it's just variable. I'm not giving any type like the local or instance or static. I'm not explaining anything. I'm just explaining how to create and what is the meaning of this, right? So see, this is what? This is the variable name. If you say num, what is num? Num we call variable name, right? So this is variable name, okay? And what is this? What is this? Like, okay, this one. What is the 10 value? Okay. So, guys, what is 10? So, 10 is, we call this as a variable value, right? This is var value. I'm going to give the variable value is variable value equal 10, right? And what is int? Integer is a type, variable type. This is integer type. So int we call as a variable type equal to integer, right? So this way we declare a variable. Like the first variable type we mention whatever you want to mention. Like if I am declaring here integer type variable, right? You can declare string type, you can declare character type, you can declare double type, any like I already explained the data types, right, in the previous tutorial. So type you can consider, you can go through the my video, first video, and you can learn about data types, right? So this is the type, data type. Here I am declaring integer data type, variable type is integer. What is the name? Variable name is number, num. Okay, I am giving variable name as a num, and the equal to 10. So 10 equal to 10 is variable value, right? So this way we declare the variable. Okay, so okay, so see, as I mentioned here the small definition. Okay, data type define a kind of data stored. See, what kind of data you are storing inside the variable. So data type define the this way. So data type can be integer, string, float, double, character, right? These are the data types. Okay, second, what is variable name? Variable name is unique identifier following Java naming rules. Okay, so follow like always give the name in the small, first add the small letter, then you can give the capital letter. Okay, this is the naming part. Value, what actual data assigned to the variable. So here 10 is the actual data I am assigning to integer type variable, right? So this is the explanation about the variables. Okay, so these are the three components. One is data type, one is variable name, second is the value, what value we are going to assign. Okay, so this is about the variables. Okay, so let's discuss about types of Java variables. So guys, we have three types of Java variable. As you can see in this diagram, types of variables. One is local variables, second is instance variables, and third is static variable. So what is local variable? So guys, whenever you are declaring any variable inside the method body, okay, so see, this is the method. I am creating one method here, uh, void fun method. I am creating this method, okay, and I'm giving this body, okay, like this. This is the method body, right? So if you want to declare any value inside this, like int x equal to 10, I'm declaring this method. I created one fun method and I'm declaring this integer type value, and the variable name is x, okay, and I'm giving the value as a 10. So this is the local variable, okay. Whenever you are going to create any variable like local variable, always remember, local variable always declare inside the method body, okay, not the class. Outside, always remember, inside the method body only, these curly braces, inside this you can create the local variable, right? So this is the local variable, and the scope of this variable is around this method only. Outside this method, this variable is not exist, right? So whenever you are declaring any variable as a local variable, the variable scope is around this method only, okay. So this is a local variable, okay. Second is, I'm going to give their name as a local variable, okay. Okay, this is a local variables. I'm giving the name as a local variable. Okay, second is instance variable. What is instance variable? Okay, so this is whenever you are creating any instance variable always declare inside the class but outside the method. Okay, so whenever you are going to create any variable inside the class but outside the method, you will call as a instance variable. So let's create one instance variable. So I'm going to create here, like I'm creating one class student. Student is a class, okay. I'm creating student class. Okay, this is the class. Okay, and inside this we have one method also. So void some method. I'm creating one method here also. Okay, we have one method inside this class. So I created one, uh, like int number 1 equal to 5, int number 2, sorry, num2 equal to 10. So I created two local variable. Now I'm going to create one instance variable. So string name equal to Jack. I am creating one name as a Jack inside this variable, right? Instance variable. I'm creating one instance variable name equal to Jack. This is the instance variable. Always remember, whenever you are creating any string type variable, you need to give the double quote, right? So you need to give inside the double quote, okay. So I'm creating this instance variable. So see, so what is the logic here? So see, so this is instance variable I created inside the class. This is the class, but outside this method. This method is till here, right? Started from here or ending here. So this method scope is always under the class. Like you can, this will call using class name, right? But this method scope only comes under this method only. You cannot uh, call this outside the class, outside the method, right? You always call inside the method only, right? But instance variable you can call, right, using method, using object, class object, you can call this inside the main method, right? So this is instance variable. So you can create outside the method but inside the class. So we call this as a instance variable, okay. So let's I'm going to keep this in one box so you will like understand This is instance variable, right? And what is this? This is the local variable. I created one example here, okay? And now I'm going to create one static variable. So what is static variable? So let's create one static variable so you will understand. So guys, whenever you are going to create static variable is or like a instance variable, but we use static keyword. Whenever you are going to create any uh, static variable, just remember we need to use static keyword, okay? And this static variable also create inside the class but outside the method. So let's say I am creating one class, okay? This is the class student. I am creating this class name as a student, okay? And inside this I am creating one static variable as a static int uh, value equal to 20. So this is the static variable I'm creating. So this is the like this is the static keyword and you can call using class name, okay? So this is the static variable I'm creating here, and then I can create any method like void sum method I am creating, and inside this you can create any variable, right? So this will be local variable we can call. But what is a static variable? Using static keyword we can create static variable, okay? So see guys, I explain about how to create static variable or instance variable or local variable. So local variable always created inside the method body, right? And the scope of local variable inside the method only, not outside the method, right? So whenever you are going to call any local variable, you need to call inside the method only, right? But instance variable, whenever we create instance variable scope is inside the class. So always remember, whenever you are going to calling any instance variable, you need to create the object of class. Using object reference you can call the instance variable, right? Third is static variable. So static variable is always created using static keyword. You need to just give mention the static keyword at the first, then you can give the data type, then the variable name and equal to the value, right? So this is the static keyword, static variable, okay? And whenever you are going to call static variable, you need to use class name only. Using class name you can call the static variable. There is no need to create the class object. You just use the class name, dots and the variable name, you can call this way. So this is the static variable. And guys, one thing also, like if you are not declaring any class variable or static variable, so this will pick as a default value whatever the data type having the default value. This will give the value as a default value, give the compiler as a default value. Like integer default value is 0. So if I am declaring like static int value, I'm not giving any value, like I'm using semicolon like this, like static int a, like this I'm declaring. So this will give you automatically, compiler give the default value of integer is 0. So this will assign you as a 0, okay? So like this in the instance variable also, this will give the default value. So there is no need to declare any value. If you are not declaring any value, this will give you as a default value, right? So this is the difference between all the three variable, right? Static, instance and local variable. So this is the theoretical part I explained here. This is the local variable, this is the instance variable, and this is the static variable, right? Let's create one program and I will give you the demo, like how I'm going to create and how we can call. So I'm going to create, this is the Java tutorial series, so I'm going to create inside this basic concept one class. So let's right click, run new and class. I'm giving as a class as a, one second. Okay, so class name I'm giving as a variable concept, variables types. Okay, this is the name I'm giving, class name concept. Okay, well, types concept. Okay, I'm giving as a method also public static void main and finish. So this class name I created inside this basic concept package. Okay, so see, this is the one class I created here, and this is the main method. Okay, so let's create first local variable. So I want to create one local variable. So guide, as I told you before, local variable always created inside the method. Always created inside the method. It doesn't matter ki main method or the simple method. You can create anywhere, but there will be method. Inside the method, you can create the local variable. So let's say I am creating, or I will create one method here. I am going to create one method like public void sum method I am creating. Okay, inside this I am creating two value like int number num1 equal to 10. Okay, int num equal to number 2 equal to 20. Okay, and int c. Okay, so I am going to create three local variable, and now I'm going to print system dot out dot println. Okay, I'm going to create, I'm going to add this. So simple total sum equal to. Okay, I'm going to concatenation sign here, and I'm going to like 1 second. Here I'm going to give a plus b, sorry, equal to number 1 plus number 2, like this. So I'm going to give print the c here, to total value println, sorry. Okay, so see, I created two local variable. This is the local variable integer type, right? I created two local variable in number 1, num1 and num2. Okay, this is the local variable, and I am adding this local, these two variable inside this c variable name, right? Sum, or I will call this as a sum. Sum equal to num1 plus 2, and I am going to print this sum inside this print method, right? So just concatenate, then use the sum. So this is the variable name I am giving here. So this will print the number 1 plus number 2 equal to what will be the output? 30. So this is the 30 value, this is going to print. Okay, so this is the local variable I created, right? Let's create one instance variable. So what is instance variable? I'm going to print string name equal to Jack. I'm creating one instance variable as a string type, and the value equal to Jack. Okay, this is the instance variable. Instance variable. So see, so this is the variable I created. This is the instance variable, and the name equal to Jack. So this is the variable type is string type, and the variable name is name, and the value equal to Jack. So right. So this is the declaration of this line. So this is a string type variable. Okay, the name equal to Jack. So I created one instance variable, or I will create another variable or two like integer type. So int, okay, int x equal to 50. So I am creating another variable also, instance variable equal to, this is the integer type value. So integer type instance variable. Okay, so this is, I created two variable, instance variable. One is string type and second is integer type. Okay, and third I am going to create one static variable. So static value, static int value equal to 100. I'm giving, this is the one creating one integer type static variable and giving the value equal to 100. Okay, so this is the static variable. right? So see, guys, hmm, I created all the variables type, right? See, this is the instance variable inside the class, but outside the method, right? This is the method and this is the main method outside the method, right? These are the instance variable, but inside the class. This is the class, right? Variables types concept. And one is I created static variable. So static keyword I am using here, right? And this is the integer type and the value equal to 100. So this is a static variable I created inside the class, right? But outside the method, right? And see, here also I created one local variable, two local variables. See, one is number 1, num1 equal to 10 and num2 equal to 20. I am giving two value here, and then I declared one sum variable name is a sum, and I am adding these two value num1 plus num2. Adding, this is the additional operator I am using this I am adding these two value like 10 plus 20 equal to 30, right? So this will come like a 30, like this is the 10 plus 20, what is the value equal to 30, right? This is the total value will be 30, and now I am printing this value inside the sum method, right? So I'm giving as a this is the output. I'm giving the string like total sum and equal to what is the value equal to 30. So this is the I'm printing this value is the total sum equal to 30. So see, we created all the three types of variable, right? Instance variable, static variable, and local variable. But second question is how we can call all these three types of variable, right? So see guys, always remember whenever you are going to call local variable, okay, you need to call inside the method, right? First, okay. So first of all, I'm printing inside the method, but how we can call? So we can call this method, right? We can call this method some method. So whenever we are going to call this method, this value going to print, right? This value going to print. So how to call some method? So simple, create one object of this class. So I am going to create one object of this class. So how to create object of this class? So create object of class to call, right? Instance variable, sorry, variable or method. To call any instance variable or method, we create one object of a class. So how to create object of class? Write the name, class name, and ref. Okay, I'm giving the reference variable name. Okay, equal to new keyword we use to create the object, then the class name and this round bracket and semicolon. So see, to create the object of a class we use new keyword, and this is the reference of variable, right? I'm creating this object reference variable name is a ref. So using this object reference variable, I will call the method or variables, right? So how to call the local variable method? Simple. Object reference name I'm going to use. Object reference variable dot C. You will get the options, right? So C. So I created one method name as a sum. This is the sum method I created. Simple. So see, we will call the object of a class using object reference of class dot sum method using dot sum. So this way, this is going to call this method. Okay. So I'm using the object class object here. Using class object, I am calling this method. Then second, what how to call instance variable? So I am going to call instance variable like ref. Okay, so I'm going to print this system dot out dot println. I'm going to print in my console. So how to print the name? Okay, so name equal to concatenation sign, then ref dot name. Okay, this is the variable name, right? This is the variable name, right? Name created I here, or I will give as a student name. Student name, right? student name. So I'm going this as a student name, give here the name equal to this. See, so how to call instance variable? Simple, I created the object reference name equal to ref, right? Variable name equal to. So using object reference variable, we can call the instance variable name or method, right? Instance method. So simple, ref is the object and the reference or the variable name is equal to student name, right? This will print as a student name. Okay. Okay. Now how to call static variable? So simple, I am going to copy this print statement here. Okay. And like I'm giving as a variable static variable, and here I'm going to remove this and I will give the name, class name. What is the class name is this, so I'm going to class name equal to this. Then static variable, what is the static variable is value, so I am going to give the value. Static variable name I am giving here. So see, whenever this is selected, so see this value is highlighted, right? So I am calling this static variable. So see, we are calling these three types of variable. One is local variable. So when this method will call, so this value is going to print, right? Second is instance variable. So I'm using object reference. So object dot variable name you can give. So this will call the instance variable, and same static variable. So using class name you can call the static variable. This is the variable name and this is the class name. Let's run this program and see what happened. See, run as Java application. So see, guys, first I called the sum method, right? So what is the sum method? Okay, so sum method is this: 10 plus 20 equal to 30. So total sum value, what is the value equal to 30? So this is going to print firstly this one is printed. Then second is what? Instance variable. So what is the student name? So student name equal to Jack. So Jack is printed, right? This instance variable is printed, right? Then static variable. What is the static variable value equal to 100, right? So using class name, I call the static variable and the static variable equal to 100. So this one is printed. So see, you understand what is the difference between static variable, local variable, and the instance variable. So this is the main difference, guys, and you can call this way. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial to learning about the variables type. This is important topic, guys, because if you are writing any code, any program, or in automation you are creating any scripts or developing any framework, need to create the variables. This is the first step whenever you are going to create any variable or any right. So whenever you are creating any program or object, or you are going to create one variable, right? So variable is the main role because you are giving the name and which type of variable you are going to create and what type of data you are declaring, right? So this is the main topic, and you need to know about this all the things, like how, what is instance variable, what is static variable, and what is local variable. So this is the difference and how to call. Simple, this is whenever you are calling any instance variable, you need to create one class object, and if you are calling any static variable, you need to use the class name only. Okay, and how to create local variable? Simple, inside the method you can call the local variable. Okay, this is the difference and this is the topic about the variable types. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos and more updates. Bye bye, thank you.